Russell, so thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, no, you can hear us.
Me? Okay. Yeah, it's my first time in Brussels also.
And last night we went out and we had waffles.
Waffles?
So good. I know that's very common for you guys, but it was amazing for us. So don't be shy if anybody has a question.
Guys.
If not, I'm going to start asking you questions.
Right? We can always turn the
And
Q&A
that will
around.
be really odd because my questions are very personal. So,
First of all,
It was all a joke, don't worry. We didn't lose any pen drive or anything. It was just a little prank. Question? Hello?
hi. Okay. First off, I hope your flight went well and that you are enjoying Brussels. And my question is, since your buddy travel, like you traveled together, I saw that you were together last night. What can you say about each other? One fact about traveling together.
One fact.
Yeah.
between the two of us,
Yeah.
Andrew doesn't like avocados.
We went to a restaurant that was like all avocado stuff because it was the only healthy place we could find. And I ordered a salad that had a bunch of avocados on it, but I asked them for no avocados, and they were very confused because it was an all avocado place. What was it called?
The avocado shop or something like
the
that.
avocado show, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went there. I do not like avocados, they're disgusting. Does anyone else hate avocados? Oh my god, I thought I was like the only person on the planet. In California, they put avocados on everything, and it sucks because I hate them, and I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Okay, fact about you? This is hard. She's such an enigma.
I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a...
You really are.
You think, I've got one more fun thing. Apparently...
Why do you know all these things?
Victoria and I were on the same plane coming here, and we didn't know it.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of odd.
I'm glad you guys made it through that. I'm sure you guys already know this, but I literally think Melissa's the nicest person that I've ever met in my life. I'm not even joking. Like, there's people that are just nice, but I genuinely think you are the nicest person I've met. She's so sweet. That's why
We're very good friends, so you make it easy, honey.
We're waffle buddies.
We're waffle buddies. Yay, thank you for your question.
Oh, thank you.
If you survived in Team Wolf, what scenes would you have liked to have done together?
I'm assuming this is for me because
Yeah.
your character doesn't die, right? Spoiler alert.
But I was there when you asked.
Yeah, she was there during my death. So if I survived it, what was the question?
If you survived, do you think you would have eventually become friends with everyone, or would you still just be evil?
I think what's really heartbreaking about Gabe's death scene is that I think in that moment his character does realize that, you know, the werewolves, that he had all these ideas of being pure evil and they were gonna, whatever, do something crazy to this town. I think that in that moment he realized Theo was empathetic towards him and like healed him. And also the fact that Monroe's character betrayed Gabe and basically was like, shoot him. I think that all of that, if he made it through that situation, I think he would have realized that he was manipulated and that his idea of the pack and everything was way worse than what they actually were like. So yeah, I don't know if he'd be friends with them, but I think that he would definitely have a realization that he kind of went down the wrong path.
And morning, before I forget to say that.
And what?
Morning, because I always tweet you it, but it's never the morning.
Oh, morning. Hi.
I thought that also was a beautiful scene because it was like a double redemption.
Right, for his character too.
Yeah.
I was really honored to be part of that scene because I knew the whole arc was kind of coming to a close for Theo's character. But yeah, I think that Jeff Davis told me that there was kind of a parallel between Gabe kind of going down this wrong path and Theo's character. And I think that's ultimately why he was able to be empathetic towards Gabe's character, even though Gabe and him didn't have really a relationship in the series. But I think he just saw himself in Gabe like getting manipulated and going down a bad path, and just being a kid. Like at the end of the day, that's what was sad about that scene. Like, yes, Gabe was a really evil character, but he is a kid. Like, they're in high school.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, welcome in Belgium.
Thank you.
We're so happy to see you.
Hi.
I'm here thanks to my sister. So, if you ask questions.
Thank you. We saw yesterday that you were in Brussels, so you were doing sightseeing. So what did you like about Belgium, about the food or anything else? What did you like about the whole country?
Has anyone traveled to America?
No.
Yes. So sometimes when you're in America, there's not beauty everywhere you look, right? You have to drive somewhere and then look at something and then drive somewhere else and look at something. Here in Brussels, when I was walking around, every time I turned around, there was something beautiful to see, whether it be a church or a monument, people. Just the streets are so beautiful, and so you who have grown up with this probably don't appreciate it because it's something that you see every day. But to me, it's very beautiful to see, and also just how nice everybody is. Everyone is just seems to be in a very good mood. It doesn't happen in the States very often. It doesn't happen.
Definitely not. I saw a bunch of beautiful things, but I went to, I don't even remember what museum it was. There was some museum I saw and I was just blown away. They had all of like the most incredible paintings by all the masters. And it was nice to kind of go alone and just look at every painting for like as long as I felt like. So that was beautiful. Food is pissing me off because everywhere is closed at all times. Like, it closes. I know that everyone eats at different times in Europe, but every time I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get lunch. Everything's closed. Then I'm like, oh, it's time for dinner. Everything's closed. So it's been
Yeah, last
very
night he
hard.
was like, we gotta eat!
Yeah, I'm starving at all times and I can't go anywhere that's not closed. But yeah,
Adjustment.
it's gonna be an adjustment. I think today will be easier because now I'm more on the European schedule. But yeah, as far as beauty goes, I mean, yeah, the whole city is beautiful.
Thank you.
You!
Thank you.
Actor, I think you have a stressful busy life. And do you practice meditation?
Meditation?
Yeah.
I do. Do you
I
practice
do too,
meditation?
yeah. I try to do 10 minutes a day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but 10 minutes of trying to be quiet and not thinking about anything is extremely hard.
I have a good try to do it 30 seconds at a time. Meditation is very hard for me to quiet my mind. So the fact that you can do it for...
I thought 10 minutes was short.
No. I mean, true meditate? Like, really, like...
Yeah, I mean, everyone meditates different. I always try to have just like, put my phone away. Sometimes I play music of like waterfalls or something just to kind of have a noise that makes me like not think of other stuff. And then I try to like not have thoughts, or I try to have like a dialogue about things that I want to happen, things that I'm grateful that happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's easier to concentrate for me if I'm having like some sort of dialogue internally, and it gives me less anxiety because I'm getting all my thoughts out.
Right. Somebody once told me, and depending on what level of spirituality you're at, that, you know, sometimes we ask the universe or the God of our understanding for things in prayer, and that's the ask. But when we meditate, that's really when we get the answer. And so I think that that's important, is to be quiet, to hear answers that are coming to you.
That was an interesting question. Do you meditate?
You meditate? Yes. Yes. All right.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Thank you so much for coming in person.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. My question is, it's the question of my cousin, but she don't only speak English. She really, really loves it. So,
Thank you. Love you.
and the question is, are you still in contact with Tyler and Dylan?
Tyler and who?
Tyler and Dylan.
Dylan.
I stay in contact more with Tyler. We just exchanged emails. He's so cute. Every once in a while, I will have a strong feeling to reach out to him, and usually it's about something that I like to honor my mom because, you know, we both lost our mothers. He lost his mom not too long ago, and my mom's been past 10 years. So I sent him an email, and then he's like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of you, and it was a song by Stevie Wonder. Anyways, so we keep in touch very often. I haven't, and Dylan is very busy. I haven't seen or talked to him in a really long time.
I talked to Dylan Sprayberry. I talked to him. Tyler and I talked a lot when I was doing Jane the Virgin, because I played his roommate on the show. But yeah, we talk on social media here and there. But I didn't, you know what was weird is I never had any interactions with Tyler during my time on Teen Wolf. It was only on Jane the Virgin. So that was kind of a weird thing, because we both came off the same show, but we had never really like met, just said hi like once or twice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is, it might be a little time for you, but like, what was your favorite scene to shoot and your favorite scene to watch?
Favorite TV shows and favorite scenes?
Favorite scene to shoot and to watch?
I actually watched that. You know what I thought was fun was that, do you remember when Shelley and Arden were dancing together? Do you remember that scene? I didn't know that Shelley was actually a trained dancer. She's like legit. But when I was watching her, I was like, oh, she's got some moves.
So it's our favorite scene from Teen Wolf?
To watch. What was
watch.
our favorite to shoot? And
Oh,
what was
to
our favorite
shoot.
To watch?
Okay, what was our favorite to shoot? My favorite to shoot was probably me and Froy. We filmed back to back the scene where I like stop him in the hospital and then when I beat him up. Those are the most fun scenes. But my mom was on set that day, so she got to see everything go down. And me and Froy, like, we were the two newbies on the cast, so that was just a fun day to get like a big chunk of filming where we were filming for like multiple hours at a time. And yeah, the fight scene, getting to beat up Froy. I mean, that was pretty fun.
I mean, I say this kind of as a joke, but I mean, it wasn't bad kissing JR. That was not a bad day at all. He was very sweet. It was very sweet. But I always liked any scene that was in the elevator was always very fun for me. So thank you.
Hi, so if you had one wish, what would you wish? If you could wish something.
One wish? That's a lot of pressure because like I want to say stuff for me, but then I'm like, I guess I could do something good for the world. I could probably wish like world peace, or should I just wish something for myself?
It's your wish.
I don't know, I think I would wish, actually I think I answered this in an interview recently, where I said, one of my biggest wishes is actually that there's less like, I don't know how to word this, there's less, there's more familiarity and like friendliness between strangers, like people sticking up for each other and like just not being so in their own little worlds and their own little circles. Like I think the world would be so much cooler and so much better of a place if everyone just kind of realized like we're all one people and not be so, even like in high school or middle school, like when there's all these different cliques, I'm like, wouldn't it be so cool if everyone was just one big clique and like that didn't exist? So that's what I'm gonna wish for.
I would wish, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but my wish would be for every single one of us to die satisfied.
And happy.
So whatever that means in your life, whether that means your choices for love, your choices for family, your choices for what you do, your choices for travel, at the end of your life, I wish that everyone to be satisfied with what they've done on this planet.
I have to apologize to Melissa up front. I love you to bits, but this question is actually for Andrew.
She's so hurt.
I quit!
I'm so sorry. I'm asking on behalf of a friend who could no longer attend the convention. Now she's heartbroken. She's very much into writing, and she's experiencing something like a writer's block. And since Andrew is into writing too, she was hoping for advice, but maybe Melissa can give some advice too.
Do you write ever? So for those of you who don't know, I always write for fun, and recently I decided I wanted to like release chapter by chapter of this book that I've been working on for a long time. So I'm in the process of editing it. So the question was advice for what happens when you get writer's block?
Yes.
Yeah, so writer's block is a very real thing. There's times where you just sit there and like for an hour you type 3 sentences. I think that 2 things. One, I don't ever try to sit and write if I don't feel like writing. I think sometimes people, that's what's hard about having like deadlines or having to turn in a writing for work. But for fun, I feel like it's not good to just be like, okay, today I'm gonna write 2 chapters, I have to get this done. I think that really like stifles your creativity. But I tend to watch like TV shows that I'm really into, or start a new show. Those things always kind of spark like more ideas and I also find going back and reading like the 3 chapters before you start helps a lot too. Because then sometimes you're just reading it and then you're like in the story and you're absorbed into it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, oh, that's where we stopped, okay, I have to keep going. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that definitely help, and that's what I do too.
Oh, you're a writer?
Yeah, I published 8 books.
Oh, wow.
So
your advice to your friend are probably way better than mine.
Yeah, but she didn't want my advice.
She wanted mine? Okay.
But thank you so much.
Of course. Hi again.
We have time for more questions, so if anybody has... I can
Guys,
ask.
don't be shy, because on Twitter you guys are like, I have a million questions, and then we're like, questions, and nobody
Time for
comes to
questions.
ask.
I can ask questions, but they're really boring, so I'm sure your questions are more interesting.
So, I don't know myself if you watch Harry Potter, but I know Ponzio does. So, do you
Wait,
watch,
can you get a little closer to the mic? Thank you.
Melissa, do you watch Harry Potter?
Do you want?
Okay, so this is what I'm doing.
You want to decide?
You don't watch Harry Potter?
Last night when we were walking around, he was like, ooh, that looks like Harry Potter. Ooh, that looks like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So,
Everything looks like Harry Potter here. There was like so many things that I'm like, did they film Harry Potter here?
So, my question is, what do you like the most about Harry Potter?
About Harry Potter?
Yeah, like the books or the movies, what do you like
I just
the most?
love, I grew up with Harry Potter. That's why still I'm like so in love with it, because it kind of raised me. I was like 9 when I started reading the first book, I think. But I just love I think I like stories that take place in like a parallel universe. I love that Harry Potter exists within like the Muggle world. Like it's as if right now in this world there are wizards somewhere attending Hogwarts. You know what I mean? I love that J.K. Rowling did that, where it was real world, but with little secrets and things, that there's a whole nother world living underneath the mortal world. So that's kind of that's my favorite thing about Harry Potter, because it makes me feel like in real life there is some sort of magic or like some sort of thing that we don't see that's out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot. And I have another question. Like, I saw yesterday you won.
Who did that?
So I saw that you were at the courthouse with the big wall.
I was in where?
At the courthouse. Like
Oh, the courthouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know that it's the biggest courthouse in the world? And that you can actually visit it?
Oh, we can go inside?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But I
Inside.
knew that's where like the UN and like World Court is, right? Isn't that like the World Court like meets there? That's what I read. But I didn't know you could go inside.
Yeah, you can go inside until 5 p.m. It's really big.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, you need.
I thought it was like an official building that you couldn't go inside.
No, because my mom works there.
She works there?
Yeah, she's a lawyer, so I know the place. So if,
Well, if I see her,
sneak
I
you
will
in.
say hi.
yeah, I can sneak you in. So if you want.
You'll sneak me in? Sure.
So, yeah.
Sounds legit.
Bye.
I'll check it out. Thank you.
Hi. First of all, love you both.
we love you.
Thank you.
Where are you from? You have no accent.
I'm from Belgium.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not from the French side, I'm from the Flemish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Dutchies.
Let's not get too political here.
So So Melissa, I love your Instagram account because you constantly post those throwback pictures from Teen Wolf. So my question for both of you actually is, what is your favorite picture that you're or part of or that you took during your time on the show?
Okay, so I'll post it on Monday.
Oh.
But there's this really great photo, again, in the elevator, and Tyler was sitting against the wall, and he was on his phone, but all I could see were his legs from here down. And it's just a cute little photo. And I personally like photos where you can't see the whole person. I like photos when people are taken from behind, like the one that I did with you in the Ferris wheel last night. There's something to me really wonderful about having a photo of just partial a person. So that's my favorite photo.
I was new on the show, so I was very scared of taking photos.
Me too.
I was like about to take one, and then I'd be like, oh god, no, I'm gonna get yelled at. It was only till like the last 2 episodes that Jeff was like, the show's almost done, I don't care, like take as many photos as you want. Like he was actually excited that we were gonna be posting photos, promoting it. So in the end, I took like 1 million photos, but I don't really remember like one specifically. I do remember when I got my crossbow for the first time. I was so excited. I was like asking everybody to help me take a photo with the crossbow. Because I was like, this is so badass.
Okay, you should definitely post that picture.
I think I have posted it. It's with Sibo. At least one of them I remember is with Sibo, who plays Monroe. And I look very mean and badass.
Post it on Monday.
Maybe I will. Can I post it on yours?
Absolutely.
Because you have the fan base that knows about your, what do they call Moon Day Mondays?
Moon Day memories.
Moon Day memories. All right.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, honey.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Belgium.
Thank you.
My question is, what is the nicest compliment you've ever gotten and who gave it to you?
So, I mean, my mother gave me compliments all my life that were really wonderful. The first time I ever had something on the big screen, she was able to be there with me, and she looked at me and she said, "You did it, and no one can take that away from you." And I thought that was really wonderful for my mom to say it. So after that, I was like, if I never work again, that would be the most ultimate compliment that could be given to me. And then my partner has said 2 things to me. When I turned 30, he said, "Finally a woman." Made me feel good as I was aging. And then he has always said to me, "I would love you so much more if you were 10 pounds heavier. I would love you so much more if you were 10 pounds heavier." And that makes me feel good just to know that at any age or at any shape that he's going to love me. So those are my compliments.
That is really sweet.
Yeah.
I'll make mine. One came to mind and it's Teen Wolf related, so I'll just, okay.
No! Don't go!
Bye guys.
Where are you going?
Nice talking to you.
Don't leave us.
That was so
Okay, leave us.
What is it?
Get out of here.
Wait, do we have to go to them?
Yeah,
No.
just wait a minute. Everybody just gets ready and then
Bye.
we'll take you guys.
One compliment that came to mind is Teen Wolf related, where Jeff told me that after I did the death scene, I was like really nervous about doing it, and he right before I started filming, he was like, "Let me tell you that I would never give a scene like this to someone that I didn't trust that could execute this." He said there was plenty of characters in the show that he killed off. I'm sure you guys know because he gave him a lot of crap for it. But he said that there was a lot of characters he killed off that he purposely didn't give a death scene to because he didn't feel confident that it was going to be executed the way he was envisioning. So when he told me that, it just gave me so much like courage and confidence to go into it and feel like I was gonna make him proud because he believed in me. So that was a nice compliment I received. I don't know if it's the best one I've ever had, but that was the one that came to mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bonjour. What's your future project?
Future projects? Are you allowed to tell them about yours? Well, I'm not allowed either.
So we have things that we can't talk about.
But as soon as I can, you know,
Talk
I
about
post like a bunch of stuff about it. But that's the problem with our job. Everyone always validates based on like what's our next thing, and they're like, "What are you up to?" And then you're like, "I can't tell you, or I will be fired."
But, you know, part of our job is always to be auditioning and looking for the next thing. You know, we go on job auditions every day. And we hear many more no's than we do yeses every day. It's a very weird career. Very weird.
So sorry we can't update you.
But thank you for asking.
Yeah, sure.
My question for Melissa, do you excited for final season Chicago Fire?
Chicago Fire?
Yes.
Yes, very excited. You know, we just had the premiere episode for season 8, and there's a lot that happens in that episode. But I'm really excited for the season. I think it's going to be a really good one. And of course, everybody loves the Chief. So anytime that I get to go up there, it's a lot of fun. So thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I was wondering, since you travel a lot for these conventions, what is the most beautiful city that you've ever visited?
Only visited for conventions or visited ever?
Well, visited in general, really.
In general, I'd say Venice, Italy is my favorite place. Who's from Venice? Oh, you? Woo! Wait, Milan, that's not Venice. But Italy, okay, Italy, I see. Yeah, that's the most beautiful place. For me, it feels like a fake world. Like it literally feels something out of a fantasy novel or something. What about you?
I would have to say, you know, every city that we get to visit has its own beauty. But one thing that I do when I travel, and I'm not a religious person, but I feel like I'm a spiritual person, and I make sure that I visit churches in cities. It's some of the most amazing, most serene, beautiful places I have found, obviously in churches around the world.
I know, I do that too.
Yeah, right? It's gorgeous. So serene. Thank you.
I see. Hello.
Hello.
My question is for Andrew. I love your music on YouTube.
Thank you.
Benny Gate was amazing.
Thank you.
So I was wondering, are you planning to release like an EP or an album?
Yeah, original stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm kind of still figuring out what I want to do for an original song. I feel like I've planted the seeds of songs, original music. We have to leave now. Melissa, you're late.
Soon. Very soon.
I'm planting the seeds. Like I've talked to some producers, and I know what I want it to sound like, but I haven't started writing anything or planning on releasing anything. I think covers is a way for me to add my own style to a song that already exists. So that helps me just figure out like myself as a musician. I'm an actor first, so I'm very comfortable with, and I'm still learning there. But with music, I feel like I need to kind of hone my craft a little more before I start releasing music. Because the last thing I want to do is put out a song and then I'm like, 2 months later I'm like, that really wasn't what I wanted to release. So I would rather wait and release something that I'm like, this is what my sound is and who I am as a musician, rather than just put out songs just because everyone's like waiting for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you, Noah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, and welcome to Belgium.
Yay, thank you.
It's my first time too, so.
Yay!
Yeah. Before we finish the panel, just a reminder, we're going to have a quiz here in the auditorium. So if you guys want to hang around, there's some really cool prizes. But thank you very much, Melissa and Andrew. Yeah.